Welcome to www.happynumbers.org. Today's lesson is multiplication of integers. Multiplication of signed numbers. We've done addition and subtraction. Now we're doing multiplication of integers. Now I'm going to give you the rules right now and then I'll explain them to you. Right here are the rules. If I multiply a positive number and a positive number, my answer is positive. If I multiply a negative number and a negative number, my answer is still positive. I know that sounds weird, but I'll explain that. If I multiply a negative number and a positive number, my answer is negative. If I multiply a positive number and a negative number, my answer is negative also. So, if the two signs are the same, if I'm multiplying a positive and a negative, the answer is positive. If the signs are different, then the answer is always negative. Now let me explain. Picture a football field, okay? And let's take this problem. 3 times 5. Now we know both of these are positive because there's no sign. Okay. The first integer, think in terms of football, it will tell us how many plays were made. In other words, how many plays took place. So here there were 3 plays that took place. So that's the first integer. 3 plays took place. So the number is positive. This is a positive 3. That tells us how many plays were made by our team. So our team made 3 plays. The second integer is the number of yards gained or lost. Well, gained would be plus, lost would be minus. This is a plus. So we're saying our team made 3 plays because this is positive. Our team made 3 plays, and on each play we gained 5 yards. So it would be a positive 15 because 3 times 5 would be 15. So our team made 3 plays, and since this is positive, it means we gained 5 yards on each play, so it's 15. So a positive and a positive is positive. Now let's take a look at it this way. Let's take a look at 3 times negative 5. By the way, you know you can write times like this or the parentheses, like I just had. All right, so the first number is positive. If it's positive, it tells us how many plays were made by our team. So our team made 3 plays. The second number tells us how many yards were gained or lost. Well, since this is a negative 5, that means we lost, each play we made, we lost 5 yards. So we lost, on the first play we lost 5 yards, the second play we lost another 5, so that's 10, the third play we lost another 5, that's 15. So a positive 3 plays times a negative number of yards each play, we lost 15 yards. So a positive times a negative, the answer is always negative. Let's take a look at another one. Let's take a negative 3 times a positive 5. Okay, so the first integer, how many plays were made? Well, and the number is the negative, so this is how many plays were made by the other team. So the other team, the negative 3 means the other team had 3 plays, and the second number tells us how many yards were gained or lost. Well, since this is positive, the other team gained 5 yards, so the other team made 3 plays, so they gained 5 yards. So actually, that's a total of 15, and since it was the other team, we lost the 15 yards. They gained it, but we're talking about us, so we lose the 15 yards. So a negative times a positive is a negative. For us, we wound up losing. The other team did 3 plays. The first number is negative, so we think in terms of how many plays, and since it's negative, it means the other team did the play. So the other team had 3 plays, and on each play, they gained 5 yards, since this is positive. So our team lost 15 yards because the other team gained 15. So a negative times a positive gives us the negative. Let's go back over this again, and let's take a look at this one. -3 times -5. Now this time we have both numbers are negative. Well, the -3 means that the other team made 3 plays. And the -5 means they lost 5 yards on each play. So they made the first play and they lost 5 yards. The second play they lost another 5 yards, so they lost 10 yards. The third time they lost another 5 yards, they lost 15 yards. So we wound up gaining 15 yards because they lost 15. So negative times a negative is a positive. Okay, let's just review this. I want to give you a chance to let this sink in, because there's some thinking that has to go on here. We know that if the two signs are the same, positive and positive or negative and negative, our answer is always positive. This is when we're multiplying now. And if the signs are different, negative and positive or positive and negative, the answer is always negative. Let's take the football example again, and let's take 2 times 3. Well, both these numbers are positive. The first number being positive means our team made 2 plays, and each time we made the 2 plays, we gained, because it's positive, 3 yards. So we wound up gaining 6 yards, which is positive 6. Positive 6. So positive times positive. Now let's take 2 times -3. Okay. Since the 2 is positive, this means our team did 2 plays, but on each of the plays we did, we lost 3 yards. So the first play we lost 3 yards, the second play we lost 3 yards, so we wound up losing 6 yards. So positive times a negative gives me a negative. Let's look again. -3, oops, my bad. -2 times 3. So this is a -2 times a positive 3, so we have a negative times a positive. So since this is negative, this means it's the other team. The other team made 2 plays, and on each play they gained 3 yards. First play they gained 3 yards, second play they gained 3 yards. So what happens is they wound up gaining 6 yards, but we lost the 6 yards. We're always thinking in terms of us. So the negative, the 2 plays by the other team, the negative means the other team made the plays. And each play they gained 3 yards. That means they gained 6 yards and we lost the 6 yards. So negative and positive negative. And then the last example. -2 times -3 means, the -2 means that the negative means it's the other team. So the other team did 2 plays. And on each play, they lost, because it's negative, 3 yards. So they lost a total of 6 yards. The first play, they lost 3 yards. The second play, they lost 3 yards. So they lost 6 yards, but we're thinking in terms of us. So we gained 6 yards because they lost the 6 yards. So negative times a negative is a positive. Again, quick review. I hope that explanation did not confuse you. But basically, all you need to remember is, if the signs are the same, either 2 positives or 2 negatives, the answer is positive. If the signs are different, the answer is negative. And that's basically all you really do have to remember. Well, in the next part of this multiplication of integers, we'll actually work some problems. So thank you very much, Oh, right on the 10-minute mark. Thank you. See you next time.